Gang, StatKing back here with another review of AEW Dark. Once again, no episode of Powerrr, but we're still here for you. And so is AEW Dark. Today, in the review of Dark, there's only one match, but it was a really good match, actually. It told a really good story. It's a match between Billy Gunn with his son, Austin Gunn, versus Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears, the king of AEW Dark. Now, Shawn Spears is going to pick up the victory. If you haven't watched or aren't planning on watching, I'm not really spoiling anything for you. But if you are planning on watching, maybe I guess I am. But it's still a great match. What I liked about this match is that because they knew, I guess when they were planning things out, all of the tapings that they were going to do, they knew maybe that this week was only going to be one match. So they said, you know what, guys, you have plenty of time. And this match, including like the entire broadcast of Dark, is probably, I think, about a little over 20 minutes long. But for one match, that means that they had maybe 15, 16 minutes if you take away the time for entrances and a little bit of afterwards where they have post-match stuff / also promo for Dynamite. So these guys had a good bit of time to work. And Shawn Spears is a good worker. Maybe he's not a credible main eventer. Who knows? Maybe that's why he never got that far in WWE, is Ty Dillinger. But he's in the ring with somebody who is a really great worker in Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn knows the ring inside and out. He knows how to work a crowd, which, granted, isn't there, right? These are being taped at Daily Place and airing for us with no crowds. But he knows how to work a ring. He knows what he needs to do to convince you while you're watching, even if you're watching at home from the benefit of your couch, to get you into a match. And Shawn Spears is also somebody who is really good at that. So when these two come together, you kind of know that's going to be a great match. This would be an easy TV main event, depending on where they are in the card. This could also be maybe like a middle of a pay-per-view pay-per-view match. So it's a pretty solid match to be having on Dark, to be given away on quote-unquote free TV, right? Quite literally, because it's on YouTube. I mean, you had a couple ads, but still. The match itself, good. The story being, keep repeating that, but the story being told here is Shawn Spears' level of cockiness when it comes to the match. Now, a story that they've been telling with Shawn Spears is that he gets frustrated. And when he gets frustrated, bad things happen. He lets his emotions get control of him. If you've noticed, they've been running a storyline where he gets frustrated when he's trying to do tag team matches and he abandons his partner. So here, he can't do that, right? It's a singles match. And usually when he abandons the partner eats the pin, and that's actually the reason why Shawn Spears has as many losing matches as he does. If you actually break down his win-loss record and where the wins are coming from and where the losses are coming from, and you do like an all-time split, almost all of his losses are coming from tag matches. I did this in one of the many chats wrestling chats that I am involved in for a fellow true heel, Josh Marrera. He and I were talking about Shawn Spears and whether or not Shawn Spears was a jobber. Both of us said that he wasn't, and we were talking about it because somebody on the True Heels page said that, or felt that, Shawn Spears was a jobber. And Shawn Spears really isn't. Like, he is used to a certain extent as enhancement when he's on Dynamite. But he is not treated in that same vein as a No Way Jose, shall we say. Or as a No Way Jose was treated, which we will get to, or I will touch on briefly before I let you guys go. Because today is Wednesday, April 15th. So if you now know what has become an infamous day in wrestling history, you know what happened today. But Shawn Spears, when he's in singles matches, when he gets frustrated, he gets emotional. If you watched Dynamite the previous week, he had a match for the quarterfinals against Cody. He puts Cody through a table. He puts Cody through the one of the bicycle barricades that they use in AEW, and Cody beats a 10 count. And instead of getting on Cody immediately, Shawn is beside himself. He's just sitting there in the ring, like, just, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? What do I have to do? I need to beat Cody. Not just because I want to win, not just because I want to advance in this tournament, but because it's Cody, right? That's where my nickname comes from, the champ. So when he's experiencing this frustration, it's important to see what he does. And he starts off this match almost kind of joking, right? He's joking around, he's dancing around the ring, Billy's doing a little bit of chasing him, there's hits where they can get the hits in, but a lot of it is kind of Shawn Spears taunting Billy Gunn about saying, I'm better than you because I'm younger, I'm faster, whatever the case may be. As the match goes on, Shawn Spears realizes that he's kind of in the deep water, maybe a little bit, against somebody like Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn is stronger than he looks, he already does look pretty jacked and pretty strong. He's got endurance, and he's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to escape holds. He knows how to get out of different situations. So, how does Shawn Spears react to that? And that's the story of the match. Because a week prior, we saw what happened when his emotions got the best of him against Cody. This week, is that going to continue? Or is he going to be able to overcome his own flaws, his own weaknesses, to win the match? And as I've already given it away, he does win the match. It's a good win for Shawn Spears. It keeps him in that position where some people might think of him as a jobber, but he really isn't. He picks up wins when he needs to, and when he needs to lose to put somebody else over, he does. And if that's something that Shawn Spears likes, more power to him. Do what makes you happy in this world, right? Speaking of doing what makes you happy in this world, today was a very difficult day for a number of WWE talent. And that is not usually a topic, WWE, that we discuss here on Dark Power. But because it did happen today, and I know that I'm recording this before NXT and Dynamite, I do kind of want to talk about it. My heart goes out for all of these people who today have lost their jobs, whether they are Mike and Maria Kanellis, who had to deal with Mike's substance abuse issues and his comeback from that, personal issues, pregnancies, whether it's Kurt Angle, who retires, goes out on his own terms, not on his own terms. I don't know whether he wanted to be up against Corbin or against somebody else in that WrestleMania, who transitions to a backstage role, whether it's Lance Storm, who closed down his wrestling school in order to become a producer backstage with WWE in November of last year, so it's only been a couple months for him. Whether you are a writer, Andrea Listenberg, I think is her last name, who was part of the Otis and Mandy storyline. It's tough, right? I think about what Zack Ryder said, where all he ever wanted to do was wrestle, and for 14 years he was able to do that with WWE. I think about somebody like Rusev, who was able to come to the United States, become a citizen, live in Nashville because of wrestling, because of WWE, meets his wife, Lana, his real life wife, because of WWE, because of wrestling, because of us, right? We support these guys. And it's tough because these are uncertain times. We don't know what's going to happen. Whether you believe WWE did the right thing or not, that's for a different time. That's for later analysis, I suppose. We can all be armchair critics. I know I'm not too thrilled with what they did and how they did it, but the fact is that they did do it. And so all we can do is try to support these guys, right? The best way we can. So if they do, I don't know, Twitch streams or pro wrestling t-shirts or whatever the case may be, if you have the ability to, let's try to help them out, right? Like, they've put their bodies on the line for us. They've been compensated very well, right? better than some of us may be compensated for our jobs. But they have still now had that means of supporting themselves, their family, and doing something that they love taken from them by an invisible enemy. So, again, as I've always said in the beginning of videos, at the end of videos, sometimes both, stay safe, guys. Remember that this virus is a serious thing. It's something that we all have to deal with. Going to the grocery store, going and doing anything and everything that you need to do, if you have the ability to work from home, if you're furloughed, if you were laid off, all of that. For some people, they are now in hospitals, they are now dying. And even if life is tough, we are still alive, right? And we still have each other. And we still have Billy Gunn versus Shawn Spears. So until next time, guys, stay safe. I'll see you around. And we'll be back to talk about another episode of AEW Dark. Take it easy, guys.